Hey, everybody, it's 4 o'clock, and this was the time that I said I would come on here and do a live. Now, I know that that is pretty amazing because I never do lives, and that's because I am so busy trying to keep up with my business. But today, I just had to come back and give Licensed Training Musical a chance to talk more about their company. It is so amazing. It's so brilliant. I just cannot say enough about how wonderful it is. So I have, as far as I know, 3 guests, and they are the owners and the founders of Licensed Training Musical. So I'm going to bring them on here now. Let's all pray this all works out, shall we?
So Jessica is the writer. I am the music person. I am the composer of the music, and it is so much fun. And Pam is our dancing extraordinaire, curriculum, just amazing at all the things. She's the certified teacher that came to me and came with this idea of why don't we have better training for kids with musical theater? Just like, why can't we give equal opportunity to all the kids?
Right.
Instead of just having one person be the lead or 2 people be the lead. And so she didn't even know my background, and I'm just so grateful, because I was in 22 musicals before graduating high school, and she came to me with this project, and it was awesome. But more about like who we are, what we do. We are a team of collaborators that have come together. Yay, Pam's here! Woo! Hello! Yay, we're all on. I'm like, yes, I'm celebrating.
Hallelujah.
Yes, hallelujah. This is so good. So, musical theater. Jessica or Pam, if you guys want to explain a little bit more and welcome yourselves into, well, welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Deb, for having us. We're so excited
Yeah.
to share this with the
pleasure.
world. Yes,
It's my
'cause we-
pleasure.
Sorry, my camera is so dark. There's nowhere for me to hide in my house that my kids won't come and hunt me down, except for my back office. So I'm in my little cave where I write all the shows, and I'm just hiding from everyone. So I apologize for it being so dark. I've got all the lights on, but this is how it is here.
But it's very theatrical, you must admit.
Thank
we
you.
could be doing
Well,
Macbeth,
I
you know, or who knows.
I always tell people I actually love writing in this because I have a spotlight, just one light over my head, so there's nothing more theatrical than like writing under a spotlight. It just feels so special.
You know, that's true. And I imagine it gives you an instant mood. You don't have to work at it too hard.
Oh, it does. It's actually crazy how much I focus because I have one light over my computer and that's it. And so it's just like, just write the show, just write the shows. But yeah, we're licensed training musicals. Katie kind of introduced us. The concept in a micro, macro kind of situation is, the big scope is changing up theater education. We've had some people give us kickback in this sense. They've said, that just sounds like participation trophies. And we say, not when you're talking about education. We're not talking about theater. We're not saying Broadway needs to change. We're saying the classroom needs a little different attention because personally, we believe that all children deserve the chance to have the same amount of great experience when learning.
And with,
if you think about,
what I would say is it's a tool. It's a tool for the classroom.
Yeah.
And that's what's most important, get across to everybody. It's just like AI is a tool. I was speaking to someone yesterday about that. It's a tool, and that's what people should focus on. Okay, go on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, exactly that. So the concept is actually really simple, and I'm amazed that Pam was the first genius to come across this concept because she has Pam, are you on here?
Yeah, I can see her.
Oh, good. Okay. I can't see her on my phone, but that's okay. Pam has lots of experience teaching, and one of the big things that Pam came to us and said was, when I teach kids math, I don't teach one kid 5 problems and one kid 10 problems and one kid 5 units. I give everybody the same problem. She said, why, when we teach theater, do we give one kid 150 lines and the other one 3 and say, now you're having theater experiences? And she said, I hate telling parents, oh, your kid's the tree, because like they're clearly not being given the same spotlight. And so we emphasize that all of our shows have the same number of spoken lines, singing solos, dance opportunities, they all are central to the role. One of the things that Pam, when she asked me to write the scripts, Katie kind of went to Pam and said, listen, this is my partner who I've written everything with for a long time, and I think we should ask her to come do the scripts. And I don't know why Pam, we didn't know each other from Adam, and I don't know why she said, yes, you should be the one. But I mean, other than God saying, this is it, I have no connection. But she said, I think you're supposed to do this. And at first I literally said to her, this is impossible. You can't have all the kids have the same value and write stories. And now that we're about 25 shows in, I can say, actually, this is really possible. It takes a lot of thought and effort, because I don't like writing. So when I count the lines and I say everybody has the same amount of lines, if one character had 20 lines that was just, okay, yeah, that's not equity in training. And so I emphasize that they all have had an arc. They're all growing, they're all learning, they're all participating, because we want them to have an amazing training of their skill as they study the craft of acting, singing, dancing, musical. So that's what we emphasize is with our shows, you get a whole package, and Pam could even talk about what that package completely encapsulates, but it includes the show, script, and all the music, and that's a lot of various things that Katie prepares for these shows, because we know that learning a musical is a lot bigger task than being handed a script. You have to also learn how to sing and how to, follow an orchestration and stuff like that. So, Katie, you want to say something? I can see it in your face.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, I know when you're learning something, you have to listen to it and you have to see it. And then you have to do it, like you have to experience it. So what we provide with these training musicals is not only the we provide a demo track, and I do sing on a lot of them, but we do have some other, beautiful voices on them as well. They're so beautiful and so wonderful. I consider myself a triple threat performer because I had 22 musicals under my belt before I graduated high school, and then I went on to produce. And now I produce for LTM and also ABC. So I have this depth of understanding with the characters and with the performances, and getting in tune with how these different characters function, right? And how it's just performance. Now, the demo track is just an idea that you can take your own spin off of. Your kids, they'll learn it by listening to it, right? And we provide sheet music for your lead sheets, so you can see it while you're listening. And then once you've listened to it, we also provide a piano with MIDI track. Okay. So yes. So you can just listen to the melody with the click track. That was Pam. That was like, Katie,
Pam as a teacher said we have to give you.
We have to have this. Yeah, we have to have this for the students.
And if I can interrupt you, Katie, I think one of the things that needs to be understood is that this program was designed by a teacher, a theater teacher. So every time Katie would say, it's complete, she would say, no, it needs another tool. And we'd say, okay, and we'd go make the next one, and we'd say, it's complete. And she'd say, no, it needs another tool. And we'd say, oh, okay, and we'd go make that one. But I guarantee these packages have all the tools that are needed for these kids to learn them.
Yes, to learn and to grow. That's the point. And I love it. So, so we have a demo track that you can listen. We have a sheet music that you can print out and follow along and learn on the sheet music. And then we have the piano with MIDI, which is just the vocal line. And then we have piano. Then we have the piano
with instrumental.
The instrumental. Right. So if you do need additional support while you're rehearsing, that's awesome. So we have that for you, as well as just the instrumental for performance purposes.
The full orchestration. And Katie does orchestra. I mean, these aren't dinky. No. Katie's actually like a full professional compositional orchestrator, and she puts wholehearted orchestration behind this. So it's a Broadway quality track that you get with each show.
Now, Pam,
I want Pam to talk. Let's let Pam speak.
Let Pam speak. Hey, Pam. I know. Well, we're all very excited, but I really want to make sure Pam speaks.
2 points I want to make. First, in addition to all those other components of the show packages, we also offer a few steps that can be put into choreography. So what we do is we teach the step, and then we'll say, okay, this is a 2-step move, such as step, touch. That's a 2-step move, and you can use it in 2 beats, and you can add it. You could 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and add anywhere into music. But it's to give the style and another tool for them to be able to speak the music, because we're also speaking the story through the music, right?
And Pam,
so I want
with that alleviates a lot of the extra brain power you would maybe need if you were the teacher, or even a student that's taking it on by themselves. They know, and it gives them a kind of comfort that, it's like if you say to someone, okay, let's do an improv. And they go, well, give me something to work with here. And that's really smart. Well, keep going.
Thank you. Well, it's just because it's educational, right? We want to teach them how to express this style. So we're going to give them tools and ways to use their body to do that, because that's the beauty of musical theater, right? It's that straight plays can tell a story and we love them, but then when you add a song, you add music, oh my goodness, and then you put a visual to that. I mean, like, talk about telling a powerful, a way to tell a story really powerfully. But I wanted to say one more thing too, that I'm sure drama teachers were talking about how these tools and how important they are, because I've used these in my classroom, and of course it's the only way to teach, if you ask me. And anytime I get pushback, I'm like, look, do you look at your evaluation? It's like equity, and how are you teaching? Of course, maybe a lot of us drama teachers don't get watched very carefully. You just put on a production, that's all the school cares about. But when you get into the classroom, it's super important to have that, right? And so the reason that and they gave me credit, but of course they understood about the click tracks on the instrumental and on the the melody on the click track and an instrumental, is because sometimes you'd hear the kids singing all together, you have everybody learn the song, and then when it's their solo time, for some reason they can't find the melody. It's like, wait, did you think, so you have to play over and over again for them. And there are some high schools where the teachers actually can play piano, so they can punch out the notes. But for those that can't, I mean, that's what you do, play that part over and over again, and have them learn it like a melody, because we not only have melody, but we'll also, if there's harmony in there, we'll also have those on click track and on instrumental, so that they can hear their harmony as a melody, right? Because that's a way to learn. Right. So it's just really important to use it as tools.
Now I want to ask about this. I want to make sure people understand, because I've been to your site and I've listened to music and I've enjoyed everything. And girls, you don't know this, but I'm really picky and I'm a purist. And so, and I won't let people talk down to kids. It makes me crazy when all they ever do in middle school, they decide they should everything should be juvenile, everything. And it's like, they can do classics. I mean, they could do classics for middle school kids, for heaven's sakes. Or they go the other direction and they go, we're all going to do Shakespeare. And I'm thinking, well, we don't have to do that. I mean, I love Shakespeare too, but maybe it's their first time on stage. Hello. And that's why I like these. And I think it's a really great idea. And it's such a good idea that it ought to be done with plays as well. And that's another part. Maybe the four of us will talk about that, and you can bring me in that direction, because that's something I would be really, really interested in, because I know how to do it. So, gosh, I just thought of that, girls. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Well, anyway, I did want you to, I want you to speak more to. Okay, so now let's say you have 15 kids in a class. All right. Now, how are you going to take them now and break them into groups? How do you do that?
So this is actually something that's we spent a lot of time thinking about. We started the first time we tried to put this into practice, it was with an academy. So we had a bunch of kids, we gave them classes, and we tried to cast the shows. And Pam has done this for a very long time, like worked through this concept. And so she was used to saying, I'll write a show for 8, and I'll write a show for 5, and I'll write a show. But when we said we're going to take it to this next level of professionalism, we've talked a lot about how what makes a character actually a lead. So I say the cutoff is 8 kids. I personally, writing, can't continue to make kids a character of value in 15-minute show if there's 9 or 10 or 12. Then they're really just not, they're just saying additive lines. They're not saying lines that anything. So I cut it off at 8. So that means that we have shows that have 1 player, and we have shows that have all the way up to 8 players. And so you look at your cast of 15 and you say, okay, I'm gonna do a 8-person show, I'm gonna do a 7-person show. Or you say, I'm gonna do a 3, a 4, a 5, and a 3. I'm gonna do a 2, a 5, and an 8. I'm gonna do, right? You can do any combination. The other thing you can do, so when I was in theater, I was never cast as a lead, but I'm a very bossy sort of like, I'm a theater person. I'm abrupt, right? And so I actually produced like 13 shows my senior year because my drama teacher was amazing and she knew that that's my hunger. And so she said, Jessica, like, go. And so I was the drama club president and I helped everybody direct their shows and I did everything. And one of the things I learned was, hey, we can have kids. We can talk to these kids in the classes that I was in and say, what are you interested in acting in? So when you have this library, you can go to your class and say, do you guys want to pick groups? Do you guys want to listen to songs and decide a show that's interesting to you? Do you guys want it, right? And so there's a lot of power because, whether the teacher teaches the shows, directs the shows, or the kids by themselves. And we have seen a classroom do this. A teacher did this with our shows. And it was overwhelming when they were given the power, the empowerment by this director to say, I've taught you, now go and do, right? Go and experience and they did. Cam and Katie can talk, but.
So I want to just address that because I talk to a lot of, drama teachers. This is what I do. I'm the one who like talks to them a lot. And so that's a big question. How do we do this with so many students, right? And so to answer that, of course you divide it up. Like when I first started teaching this, I had 46 students in my musical theater, after school musical theater class, divided them into 4 groups. I did have bigger groups just at the time. I didn't know how to write like Jessica, but it was for training purposes. So I thought that it's okay to sacrifice a good story. I mean, I thought they were decent stories, but I didn't really concentrate on the writing because it was really, really for the students. It was for them to have that full experience, and they still can, regardless of the director, regardless of what the teacher decides to do with it. But if you do that, you have the gamut, like Jessica was saying. You can just say go at it. Like this one teacher, he did. He divided it up, like Jessica just said, divided it up and posted, this is a cast of 5, this is a cast of 6, had scripts in front, and then everybody just picked according to whatever, their friends, who their friends are, the storyline, and it doesn't matter, right? Because everyone is a lead. Right. So you're not like fighting for the roles that are super important. So that's beautiful. But then you can also have, like, just in the classroom, what it would look like. And actually we had a teacher ask if we could entertain this idea, and we're thinking about it, but it's like have a like a pacing of this unit, such as, okay, the first day 1, maybe it's a 6-week thing. Day 1 and 2 read over scripts, day 2 get into your groups, right? Day 3 cold read, day 4 pick your parts, things like that. You keep them on just like when us teachers do group work, right? We keep them on a track and we make sure that they're still staying with what they need to do. So that's how we put it into a curriculum. And I had also another teacher who she was really she said, I'm not in charge of any of the after school shows. I don't know when we would perform these. And I brought her right back and I said, this is curriculum. This you can do in the classroom. She said, wait, I don't have to like reserve the auditorium and ask kids to get out of classes. And I said, no, self-contained. It's a curriculum and a ready-made unit right there for you. Do everything. And she's like, what about what parents want to perform? And we decided, just tell them ahead of time. Take a long lunch break, or your child is a lead and is going to perform from 11 to 11:15. Come on in. We'll have a little special party just for you guys. It's just really fun.
Katie wants to talk. Katie, go ahead. She's all dancing over there.
No, I just to touch on that, of how you can implement it too, because when you come and join us in beta, you get access to all of our shows.
Isn't that great?
All of our shows. You lock in lifetime discounts right now until
now. You don't just think about that.
Okay,
they're royalty
free, and everybody needs to think about that. That is huge. Because I know that this is going to go. I just do. Yeah. And I just know those kinds of things. I don't know
Yes.
why, but you are
Thank
to be
you.
in there here at the beginning.
Yes. And
Because
You
this
do.
is going to be huge, and it's going to catapult in big once
Yes.
we get the word out there.
woo,
Thank you.
I really do
Yes.
think, and just knowing how many people are on the live right now, I'm staggered because this never happens, which means they're really, really interested. And so I just wanted to tell you you three that, so you know. Go on, Katie.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. I'm just saying, well, we've had some teacher in the past. He put up the names of the shows and the cast size, and then they went online and figured out like which one sounds better to you, because he'll put up on the whiteboard, outside the crayon box has 8. And like monstrous has yeah. So he would put the what's available right on the board, and then he said, "Okay, kids, go, we're going to read the different scripts." So he had the different scripts out, and then they went and read it, and they had an opportunity to listen to the music as a class, and also as groups. And so so there's lots of ways to I guess to pick and choose when you have a large group, because I think in his, didn't he have like, I don't know,
Well,
50,
Pam
75
mentioned he had like,
kids in his
I think
program?
he had almost 80 kids, didn't he? Because
Yeah.
they did 10
Yeah.
shows.
Oh my God.
And they double cast one of them too. Didn't they do Crayon Box twice?
You know what? They didn't double well, I guess
Oh,
it was
okay.
different classes. They were different periods.
Yeah.
And so because the students were like, "Oh, I want to do this show," they chose the show to do, and then they went and they blocked it. They did choreography. They listened. They learned. And then they worked as a group together. And then Andy, it was kind of like a hands-off thing for Andy. He would come in to check on them and make sure we're doing good. And then they had performances, and then we evaluated, and he critiqued, and then went on, and then they practiced some more, and then they came back again for their final.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that is what we watched. We watched their final, and I want to tell you, like, that was magic. That was magic for me to watch them. Like, one of these was outside. It's called Swallowed. We have one about the lady who swallowed the fly, right? And it's a story inside the stomach, and the kids, they had this idea to turn off the lights and do their whole performance with a flashlight on. And it was like, it was hilarious.
Cute.
It was so awesome.
Yeah.
And it was so cool. I was like,
Yeah,
oh my
I want
gosh,
to address something about the plots too, because I think that's very important. That we have to understand that we have from silly, like like
super
yeah,
fun.
from silly
Super
to poignant, right? Because of course that drives character development in different ways, right? So that's really important. And of course the music matches, and the music we go from hip hop to Irish to all kinds of experiences,
to pop, to Broadway,
to how to sing it, as well as movement, right? So that's really cool. Can I talk about our beta program before we go on any further?
Yes.
Yeah, do it. I was gonna say we need to talk about.
Okay,
Do
because this is a partnership, and we call it a beta partnership because when we had the academy, like Jessica was saying, the academy and the club, we were workshopping these videos, workshopping these musicals as we were going. But now that we're expanding, and they're writing so much faster and with so much more speed. Well, same thing. So now we need help workshopping, and so what you get as teachers, and we think is a good partnership, is we just need your feedback in order to workshop it. So a Google form, just the video of your shows, maybe to use for marketing testimonials, and then your director's binder, if you can give us that, just to kind of use and see how you've used it.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And I know if drama teachers, anyone's listening to this now or later, if you've been ever asked to have your students workshop a musical or play, it's powerful, right? I mean, this is common for good drama teachers. Like, we've workshopped one, and it was just a fabulous experience to talk live with the scriptwriter and the songwriter, and it's a really wonderful experience that they get to be a part of that conversation for the final product. So that's what you get. I'm sorry, Deb, did you want to say something?
Well, I was just going to say that you could actually do this with, and I know you're focused on high school, aren't you, Kels?
Well,
or middle school.
Yeah, let me talk about this for a second. So one of the things Pam mentioned that our plots are very varied. Now, intentionally in the creation of these shows, I wanted to make sure that we encompass all the emotion of theater, but not just like, let's have emotional shows. Let's talk about history and live history. You can't have a deeper learning experience than living history. Let's talk about classical stories like Bremerton Musicians. That's a classic, right? And let's like explore it and have fun. But also let's just be ridiculous, because that's like half of being a kid in theater, right? So like we have a show called Dance of the Flies, and it's just about some crazy flies, you know. But what I wanted to say about the, you know, Pam and I have talked a lot about, do we put ratings on these musicals so teachers know? And we've decided something, and we're kind of, this is for the beta group. If the beta group has an opinion about this, let us know when you guys like really get into all these shows. We're not rating them. We're not going to tell you what age they're for. Now, I will tell you, I'm not writing them to be juvenile.
Right.
I'm writing them to be good productions.
Right. And
for
I think
any
that's really
age.
important. I think that's really important to say.
Yeah.
Because I know we agreed about this earlier. We're not about, I'm not even a part of you, but you're not a part of juvenile, and I'm not either. And you're not a part of parodies. This is smart work. This is good literature. It's so unusual. That's why I'm excited about it, because they know, these gals know, I don't ever do these. This was so important to me because I really thought I could help them get the word out, because I wrote the blog post and now that's going great.
Thank you.
And with, I just think I can't impress that upon people enough, that when you work with young people, never feel like I have to do something super light and entertain them, or I must do something very serious. I think this allows for a variety of dynamics even in one class. And I'm sure that happens, that one group wants to do something serious and another one wants to do a farce. I can see that happening. That's cool.
And I don't think that, I think that there's, so this is not a diss to public school teachers. I homeschool my children largely because I am at home with them and blessed to get to have that time with them now. And so I just value that. But one of the things that I can tell you from experience is you don't have to talk down to children. No. You don't have to teach down to children. The world is like, there's so much material in the world that they can comprehend. And if we give them that trust, they will rise to it. And so that's how that's how I've written the shows. And then Katie and I, when we do the music, we write them like Broadway shows. We don't write anything that's dinky on a piano. It's just not how we do it. As a matter of fact, when I used to work with Katie, we wrote custom songs for people. And I would say to her, don't put that much time in it. They're not paying us enough. And she would say, Jessica, she would say, I do my best all the way every time. And that's every show. You're getting Katie's very deepest best, and that's incredible. So but I will say, teachers, obviously the job that you do have to do is know your class well enough to go into these shows and say, can my middle schoolers understand the 9/11, the story of 9/11? Because I've written a musical that's amazing and powerful. I'm not going to tell you if they can or can't. I will say though, it's 9/11. Just just think about that. And that's so. They're not all, I mean, whimsy is one of our most favorite types of musical, but history is very, very important to me, and good literature is very, very important to me. And so that's, so
in addition to that, it was also very important for us to subtly throw some life lessons in there. So they all have themes, right? They all have themes about, even B-Town is about working, joining together and finding a new purpose, right? All of they all have a theme that's really important to us. But I don't want us to forget that we have to go back to the beta program, guys. The beta partnership, we didn't finish that yet, so
do it, Pam. Sorry.
Yeah, talk now, Pam. Go ahead.
Okay. So that's what we ask of you, but what we give to you is the current shows that we're doing, that are currently written, and future shows, all of them, for complete 2 years to we officially launch. And I say that, I mean, we are launched, but like we're launching in this new realm. That's all we're saying. So you have 2 years to have all these musicals now this is something that may be hard for people to understand, for teachers to understand, but it's at a price that's within your budget. So literally we say, what can you afford? And because we're partnering with you, it's not about the money we're going to get from you. It's about the value of your input and believing in this and giving it to your students for these 2 years, and understanding that we are just, we're trying to find something that fits, and we need that partnership with you.
Right.
So that's more value than the money. But we do think
exactly.
we need to put something towards it, right? So that's it. I mean, one teacher said, I have absolutely no money. I have zero budget. I don't even have a musical theater program. So he said, okay, why don't you go think about how to use this, and then we'll talk tomorrow. And she did that. She thought she could, you know what? And I came up with some money. Because when you dig into this, you see the value for 2 years too. I mean, we're dividing. It's like it's just kind of a cool experience, and that's why. One more thing about this beta partnership, it's very limited. It's not open to everybody. It's just open to a few partners that we can have a relationship with. We need to be able to have that back and forth and talk with you. So this is not a marketing ploy.
No.
This is literally, we cannot have relationships with 1,000 schools. So it is limited.
That's good.
And
That's very important.
Yeah, and we're not saying how much, only because we kind of can't decide. But it's not, anyway.
Well, and
so there's our
and I think
budgets are different all across the board, and the needs are different for everyone. Like, I just think about, it's all about the kids for us, and we want to serve as many people. We want to get this into the hands of the educators across America in their musical theater programs, because we believe that this will change your program. It will change your kids' lives, and they really truly will be empowered and equipped with all of the skills and the tools they need to be amazing performers on the stage and amazing leaders out in the world.
Yeah.
So
And I think that's it in a nutshell. I can't think of anything else we should even say except you have a website.
Yes.
We do.
Yes.
Yeah. Licensetrainingmusicals.com.
So they can go
and I'll say,
they can listen to music there, and they can read. Can they read parts of scripts there?
Oh yeah, you can download preview packet. We have a preview packet on there that you can download. We have a PDF if you're looking for more information.
Right.
And also, Katie wants to say
I
something.
was going to say, we have a Google slide on if you go to our beta, like join beta, on that page, you can see a slide. You can even share that entire page with your administrators if you'd like, so that they can see the value of what this program is. And you can talk with them about, these are things, it's like an e-packet. We can also send you a PDF if you'd like to your email.
But if you already know that you want more information, if you already know, the next step really is to have a conversation with me. And I love talking with you. I find out what your program is about, and we negotiate a price that's comfortable for you. And literally someone said, will you take $1? And I said, of course. Not that I'm promoting that, but I'm just saying, I'm just saying that, no, if you honestly, and that's the mutual respect, because teachers do say, goodness, I'm not going to give you $1. I'm going to give you as much as I can come up with and budget out my year. And I'm going to give you what I feel like is of value to my program. So that would be the first thing. So if you want to email us, our phone number, our email is all on the website. If you already know, it's a casual conversation with me.
Like, let's talk. We want to talk with you. And we're going to be at the Theater Ed Tech Conference, woohoo, in September. So come, we're going to be an exhibitor there. Yes, in Minneapolis this September.
It's actually called EDTA. So if that was confusing, it's EDTA. The tech conference, and Pam and Katie will be there. I have to mom, so I won't be there this time, but hey, I wanted to say one other thing. So it's a limited partnership, and we don't want you to miss out if you're eager to be a partner with us. But don't freak out if we say we're closing the beta program. We have plans in place for how to get these resources to every single person in the world. We just need to make sure that we have a really tight knit team of beta partners for this first portion. And so if you're really eager to work with us, please contact us now. Please reach out at info@licensetrainingmusicals or go on our website, find information. We are not going to keep people from using this. We just are not going to have the same relationship with a bajillion teachers as we are with
the first. But I don't think we said this yet. You guys, you know when you normally license
Oh
musicals?
yeah. I
You,
did say it, but I didn't say it with emphasis.
Oh,
Yeah, do it,
okay.
Pam.
Sorry. Well, yeah. I mean, no matter what, you won't be paying royalties ever. So
Ever.
we just had a blast.
That's
Blast
great.
talking through things that we can do. We, just
Yeah.
like we can use and just perform it at lunchtime to promote our
Huge.
program. Oh, really? We can have a fundraising dinner and charge $50, have a spaghetti dinner, and all
Do it.
pay $50
Do
because
it.
they want to
Yes.
see their
We
program.
want you
They're
to.
the elite.
Mm.
Anything
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's a reason. When we first started this, I actually really pushed the no royalties concept, and I think it's just because I was the only one who was thinking about money, so maybe I was greedy or something. But I was like,
No.
because Pam and Katie were like, "This is for the kids," and I was like, "I think we should charge this much." But you know what? One thing we landed on a long time ago, and Deb, you even said to us, I don't think you can do no royalties. And I want to emphasize that we're never going to ask for royalties.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to break people's expectation because this isn't, and this isn't against MTI, but this isn't MTI. We're not trying to be your after school program.
Well, and
we're trying to be your tool.
Jessica, I think also if you keep the focus on it's a tool.
Yeah, it's
a tool. You don't pay royalties for a tool.
Exactly.
So if you got a brand new textbook and it had the script in it, you would pay for that one time and it wouldn't be extravagant.
Exactly.
So if people think that way, I don't think that the money is a big deal at all.
Yeah.
Well,
So, so that's the thing. We just want you guys to know that we want you to use them. As a matter of fact, we would be overjoyed to find out that you went and had a wild fundraiser with our shows. It would just be exactly what we want for your program.
Wouldn't that be great? Do you have any last minute thoughts? I know you do.
Katie does. Look at her.
I do, because I think this is important, because this is a huge value for me and us. And I know the more that we know that when what we give out into the world, it comes back to us. And so this stage, this offering, this gift to all the educators out there, we know it's going to come back tenfold to us in lots of ways. And so we want to support, and we know that when we do, everything gets taken care of. Right. So we get what we give, and we give what we get, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and we're really, Katie says it all the time, but we were those kids in theater. Katie and I were the ones on the stage, and Katie's whole life was driven because of her experience, and mine was driven because I didn't have that experience.
Isn't that interesting?
And I wanted, and so here we are together saying, we know, and we say, this is our tagline, when you use our shows, you teach kids to be leads, not only on the stage, but off the stage. You show them they have a voice, they have worth, they can stand there, or even if they're scared, they can overcome, and they can change the world just with their influence. So that's the point, is to put every kid in the spotlight for that 10 minutes, because that's why we do theater for most drama teachers, right? Is to show those kids they have power. And when you give them that.
Well, I just want to make sure Pam got to say something here. Do
Yeah.
you have any last minute thoughts here?
That's it. Amen.
Love that. Amen.
That's why we
the details.
keep her.
Well, and I know. Just if you have any questions, just like we'll help you through them. Really.
Yeah.
Let's just talk.
Right.
Our
Well,
phone, yeah.
You know, I have to come to a close.
Thank you.
I know the four of us could talk about this forever, but I did want to give anyone sort of an invitation. I am very willing to do more lives, but you have to just come to me and tell me you're interested. So if you have a youth theater program, a community theater, if you're doing a church performance, if you have something cool going on in drama class, or you have some idea, I can handle it. I can handle whatever you throw at me. So please feel comfortable in just contacting me and saying, I would love to talk about our new show we're going to do in the fall, and I would love to tell people the concept we have. I can do that with you, and I would be happy to. And I wanted to say that to people. So we're going to have to close now.
You're amazing.
It was lovely. You gals are so great. You know, you're my new best friends.
Yay.
And,
Hey.
and it's just delightful to be with you. And everyone that tuned in. Thank you, everybody who came to listen today. We're just thrilled to have you here. So let's go. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.